I still like that intro. It was very nice. All right, so oh my god, it's been a while since I've been talking to the microphone, dude. Yeah, it's been a hectic month. What can I say? I've been feeling pretty down, pretty high, pretty low, pretty in the medium. You know how it is. Life has so many plans for us, and we're never prepared for them. But either way, here we are. All right, so let's read the chat. We're asking, how are you, Uranium? Today, I am feeling very powerful, very mighty, and with a lot of. I feel like drawing a lot. If I could, I would draw for years to come, but as we said before, we don't know what plans life has for us. Did I make the music? Yes, I made the music. Drew. Some of them is for research unit of horrors. I made it specifically for this pilot. Some of it I was making it for a comic book, Boneface and Pumpkinhead I was working before. Um, but both have a similar aesthetic, as in I like Halloween, I like dark stuff, goth stuff. I like mixing a little bit of electronic music with more like a orchestral one. You know, get that Danny Elfman, Tim Burton vibe. Either way, let's get started. Okay, so I think I've been showing this on Twitter. I've been showing how I have an animation of Samhain basically recoiling or flinching. So Samhain's a big guy, but he might be a little bit scared by Freya because Freya is a very, you know, what's it called? Like disciplined lady. She She's probably the only one that can keep this big guy in check. So right now she's basically scolding Zara first. She's already depressed because she's been scolded. But now she's going to be scolding the pumpkin, right? She's directing her attention from Zara to Samhain and symbolizing it with the flipping of the sword, I guess. Or that was my idea at least. I think it's gonna look nice. And we should get started on it. So what I did is I drew, as I usually do, the two main keyframes. Now this is not gonna be a very fluid animation. I want to make it snappy because snappy is funny. So probably I'm gonna use either one blur frame in the middle or three ones that are not as blurry to make it like a little bit smoother, the transition. Otherwise, it's gonna look too cartoony, maybe, which I'm okay with. So let's see. See, that's like the idea. She goes from one place to the next one, make it snappy, but let's not make it so snappy. This is not Ren and Stimpy. Okay. So the place I should begin with is getting rid of all the things related to the face because those are usually more detailed, meaning harder to draw. So I'm just going to focus on the body where I'm willing to make some sacrifices first. So here we have the body, keyframe A, keyframe B, and let's create one right in the middle. You can already see that the onion skin is activated, so we can see the red lines, the green lines. Green lines mean future, red lines mean past. I would say that they're a little bit too opaque, so let's bring it down a little bit. That way I can draw. Now what I'm just going to do is I'm literally going to twist her body from pose A to pose B. I'm not gonna overthink it. Let's just do it. So the hand, I feel like maybe I should overthink it a little bit. So let's start with that guy. I'm gonna come here and bring it to the way that it matches the next position of the hand. That way I can only focus on that for 1 second. There you go. Okay, so let's see. So what about you guys? How have you been, dude? It's been a while since we've talked in these streams. Probably like 4 months, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. Try to correct me. Does anybody remember? I just know it's been a while. The main reason I haven't been streaming is because of my housing situation. As some of you know, I moved to a different place to get a better job, to make more money. But in the process, I had to get myself into what people call debt. So I wasn't able to rent an apartment right away because I'm still paying debt. Eventually, I'm going to be in a better position than I was before. But currently, I am a person that doesn't have their own place to be in. And as such, I don't have the same privileges I had before as to when I'm able to stream and yell at my computer. I love yelling at my computer, but honestly, it's weird when it's not your place. So my debt is going to be cleared before the month of July. And by August, hopefully I will have my own place where I'll be able to just yell at my computer louder than ever because I'm not going to have even roommates. And I think starting August, I'm going to really stream like crazy, bro. Like if it were for me, you know this, guys, I'd be streaming like every day. But you know, you gotta go to work, so maybe not every day, but every day that I'm free, dude, I would totally commit to that. I don't care. I'm crazy. I mean, whenever I'm not at work, I'm drawing, I'm animating anyway. So it's not even that far-fetched that I might just become like a constant streamer. Maybe keep it quieter. Maybe I'm not yelling at the computer as much. But who knows, dude? Like maybe. Also, like I need to really sit down and animate more and more because it's been a while since I've created scenes. I feel like this past 3 days I've animated like a total of 6 scenes or 6 shots, I should call them. And that's actually pretty rad, honestly. But I need to keep doing that if I wanna finish this pilot by the end of the year at least, right? What are people saying in the chat room? King of Animation is back. Am I the King of Animation? I thought that was either Oni or one of those guys. What was the other guy? Psychic Pebbles? Or Harry Partridge? I don't know. It's a bunch of kings, really. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while. Hi, T Creeper Boss. What's going on, dude? Drew says, awesome, debt-free, and independent living. Exactly. That's the goal. But as I even mentioned at first before I moved here, it was going to be like a sacrifice. It was going to be It's gonna take a while, and it took a while, and I'm almost through the whole ordeal, and it's gonna be for the best. So let's see. I need to get rid of this motion. I forgot. Ah, shoot. I think the arm is not gonna work now. Yeah, the arm is not gonna work because I forgot to change the position of the arm before. I should have just. I just wanted to onion skin the hand, and I onion skin the arm as well. That's wrong. Should be here. Okay, what people saying? Isn't Rubber Boss an Animation King too? Rubber. I don't know who Rubber Boss is, but that is a pretty king like name. So probably. Actually, you know what? I feel like this part of the arm actually works. The armor plate. So let's get rid of this and bring this guy over here. Oh yeah, that works. Rubber Ross. I don't know why I read it as Rubber Boss. I mean, Rubber Boss would not be a king; he would be a boss, specifically of rubber. Rubber Ross. Have I heard that name before? I think I've heard it. I'm gonna really quickly search Rubber Ross on YouTube. Let's see what he's got. Hmm. Yeah, I've seen that profile pic before. That's weird. I'm not familiar with the channel, but I've definitely seen that icon right there, Rubber Ross. And 1.2, 1.3 million subscribers, that's kingish numbers. That's at least part of royalty, you know what I mean? Yeah. He's probably one of the midi kings of YouTube or of animation online. Honestly, there's a bunch of them, dude. Like, some people would argue that maybe Ego Raptor is still the king, even though he doesn't animate anymore. I feel like he's like busier doing like boxing fights and podcasts, but still, like, I remember he was like the animator back then. The first video I watched of Ego Raptor was the one of Mega Man. What was it called? Like a Mega Awesome or Awesome Man. It was so raw, dude. It was those were good days, dude. I miss being in like middle school and stuff like that. Jaden and James, he collabs with other animators, usually in Gartic Bone. Huh. I gotta look into like new guys, I guess. I'm a little bit outdated in my animation royalty knowledge. There's probably a bunch more. Who's this guy? I think one of the newer guys is the green guy, the Duber Goober, I think is his name. Uh, he is insanely fast how he works. Like his sketches are quite simple, quite short, but he puts out like an episode every week or every 4 days or something like that. And you know what they say, consistency is king on YouTube, so that is pretty rad of him. Another guy, there was another guy that I saw. He was literally making like an animation for each meme that came out. KC99, thank you very much. And Dragon Joe is here. Damn, bro. Everybody's here basically. See, this is why I want to make the streams because like I can keep in touch with you guys easier than on other platforms. Honestly, Discord is good, but I have an issue and I feel like I gotta fix it in this. I've joined too many servers. So whenever I get a notification, like it's like half, not even half, I would say like 1 out of 10 notifications are slightly relevant to me. And that's bothering me. So I think I'm gonna just get rid of all the servers that are not like actually important to me. Have like one for each hobby, one for each show that I watch, one for each everything. Nah, I gotta get rid of those other servers and make sure that I just focus on the ones that have people I like. Like the Uranium server, that's literally my favorite server ever in the whole wide world. Okay, let's see. So now she's got her neck thingy here. I don't even know what to call it. 3 more flower deliveries and it'll be more talkative. Yeah, no, business is important. You gotta like make sure those mommies are happy with their flowers right now. It's paramount. Paramount, is that a word? Or is this a company that makes movies? I'm not good with words, dude. I'm not even good with drawing. I'm just very what's the word? Insistent, I guess. I don't give up. I mean, I give up, but then I take it back. I go back. I get it back on the horse. Feel like I give up on everything. I just want to die. But I haven't died so far, so I'd say that I'm actually pretty good at not dying and not giving up. So that's all you guys need to do. Just don't die. As long as you don't die, things are gonna be fine, dude. Let's see. I knew that Calavera is coming out this summer. Actually, you know what, Mr. Skin? Summer, because of the stupid hiatus I just took, I feel like summer might be very optimistic. It's gonna take way longer than summer, I think. I think that summertime is when I'm gonna start investing on it, like for real. Because remember, I told you guys, mind if I invite you and or anyone else to a server that I'm in? That's good. That's good, Drew. Yes, you can invite everybody. I think most of the people that are here right now are also in the server, so you can also do that in the server. That's fine. That's never gonna be a big issue, unless the server is like um, for bullying a specific kind of thing. I'm okay with it. I mean, what kind of servers are there that I'd be against? That's a good question. I mean, bullying servers obviously would be a no-go. What other kind of server do I not want? I don't know. You bully the bullies. I think that even bullying the bullies is something that I don't want to be a part of. Like, at least you're bullying the bad guys, but still, like, I'd rather keep it all like good vibes, dude. Like we've been doing so far. I feel like there hasn't been drama in our server ever, and that's something that's pretty chill. Mm, okay, yeah. I'm still animating the armor. Yeah, Freya's armor is very confusing. I really don't know what the things on her armor are because I don't understand armor in the first place. I don't know what the function is of anything. I just think it looks neat and it's relatively easy to draw. So I don't know what this is supposed to do. It's just supposed to add a little bit of yellow to her scheme. And I wanted her to have a little bit more of yellow. So I just added a stripe there, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if that will help her at any point in a fight, being like, hey, I have a yellow stripe of gold right here. Is that gonna protect my organs or something? I don't know. Then the legs don't have any armor really. It's more like she's sacrificing protection for mobility, I think. Also horse riding. She rides a horse a lot, so that's why I looked at people that did that. I was like, oh yeah, they wear these like weird boots that are very high, very like slim. So it gives her like a sensation that she can move fast and also ride a horse. But then the top armor, why is she wearing a top armor? I gotta think about these things before I have like a before I make episodes, I guess, right? Like this could be still like a prototype design. I'd be okay with that. But I gotta make sure I make everything as practical as possible. Or not, you know what? I'm not a medieval historian. I don't need to know this kind of shit. Oh, sorry, stuff. I'm trying to censor myself a little bit more. I don't want to be Mr. Potty Mouth here. Um, but yeah. I mean, now that it's been a while and I'm looking back at the designs, I go like, yeah, maybe we can fix this, maybe we can add that, or what is even that, you know? And Freya, I think, is a leader in that. Like, I never understand what's going on with her suit. I just know I like it, but it's gotta be tactical. You know, there's gotta be a purpose for everything. So I think I'm gonna revise her attire a little bit more. Make sure it doesn't have to be realistic. I mean, it is fantasy, but especially her being so tactical in her thinking, her clothing should also be tactical. So many things to think. So many. Let's see. Still nice boots though, anyway. What are people saying in the chat room? People saying spring cleaning. Yeah, spring cleaning is important. Is it spring right now? It's almost over. Or we're in the middle of spring, I think. Still drinking Monster Energy drinks. The only drama in the server is that Boneface and Pumpkinhead is dead. I agree with you. That is like the biggest drama for me. I really love that series. I still want to make it, but it's gonna be hard to get like the backup to actually be able to even afford to make it. The good thing is that if Research Unit Forward does well, I'm definitely gonna make Boneface and Pumpkinhead. Like it's like a must. It's almost like if you make one, you have to make the other one because they're so complementary. When you look at one, you wouldn't need the other one necessarily, but then you figure out, especially if you watch both, you go like, oh yes, they 100% need each other. but I don't want people knowing that beforehand. But I want them to realize that later. And you know what? This is the problem. The problem is that I realize that, so I cannot just leave, like, make one and not make the other one. It would make me go insane, which I already am, but I would go even crazier if I couldn't finish the timeline. You know, the timeline requires both so much, especially if you know what the timeline is. Like I know it, so that's a problem. Creepy servers, those are really bad. Yeah, there's a bunch of creepy servers. I mean, not creepy servers. I guess there's servers with creepy people. And you know what? There's a lot of creeps on Discord, if I'm being honest. I've joined, especially, those Discords where there's like 500 plus people, like a big Discord server where you don't even know the guy that owns the server. You go like, is it Mike? Is it Tom? Or is it the penguin guy? You don't know who owns the server, and people just join there, dude, and you don't even know who they are. They might be like literal, like offenders in their state or whatever, and they start being creepy. Then you get the news that they like message like one on one kids, like literally kids, and I don't know. Honestly, if I was a parent knowing what I know now, I'd be more careful with my kids joining Discord. For the most part, it's fine, obviously, like most things in life, but damn, dude, some people are weird. I don't know. My favorite thing about Discord is you don't have to talk to one-on-one people. You can talk to just a group, dude. That's what I like, honestly. One-on-one conversations are nice, but especially on the internet, I like more like a community rather than individual people. That's me just being weird. Because in real life, it's the opposite. In real life, I'd rather hang one-on-one with people rather than groups. I don't know. It's just my way to communicate with human beings. I'm not really good at communicating with human beings, really. I can make them laugh every once in a while, but I'm not good at being one of them. Not really. Which is fine. Most people aren't, I think. Most people pretend to be good people or to be like to be good at socializing. I feel like nobody is really. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I draw and talk and forget what I'm saying even. Let's read the chat room. Let's see. I'll do some research about armor for you if you like it. I would, yeah, honestly, some tips, some advice, especially on armors and weapons. Those are like the big two issues I'm having with this series. I don't fully understand medieval weapons, honestly. But yeah, fortunately, the one I'm inviting you to is the exact opposite of those. I got another server, so it's got probably like a small server with people that you know, people that you trust. That's always important. I've been losing some weight for a while now. Okay, Casey99. Have you been working out or just because I've lost weight, but I've lost a bad kind of weight. You know what I mean? Like I've been working a lot, and it's been like maybe like 8 days of full stress, panic modes, and then I weighed myself, and I was like, oh, I lost 8 pounds by accident. That's probably. I mean, I could lose a couple pounds. Like that's not bad for me in that point, but when you lose them by accident, that's usually not a good thing. Doing walk, jog, and a treadmill. Then yeah, then it's a good thing. If you're walking, if you're jogging, if you're doing any physical activity, whatever weight you lose or even gain, it's probably okay. Like if you go to the gym and you get like tired, you get home and you go like, yeah, I need to eat like a big bowl of oatmeal or make myself a protein shake, and you gain weight. That's probably good weight to gain because you're getting stronger. If you lose it because you're walking, that's also good because like you're being active. Your body's adapting to just being active. You just gotta be able to walk. I feel like everybody that's able to walk and not like a die attempting that, they're good enough. So the body adapting to that is good. Now, if you're working and you're feeling panic attacks and you feel so much stress on your body, and then you weigh yourself and you lost the weight, it's probably not good. Different kind of lost weights. But you know what? I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So don't listen to me. Just try to be happy, bro. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Okay, so starting to look pretty reasonable. It's a pretty reasonable motion. Oh, the neck is kind of like wiggling in width, right? Can you see that? So here's like kind of wide. I mean, here it's thinner, but here it got thicker. So that's terrible. So let's fix that a little bit. Let's make it a little bit like thinner here. Let's get rid of these lines over here, and now that is it's a smoother transition. It's way better. All right, let's keep drawing the skin part of the neck or the flesh part of the neck because that's a clothes thing. And I think I just made the same issue but opposite. Maybe now it's too thin. Let's see. So it goes from thick to thick, and it goes thin for a millisecond here. So that's pretty much insane. That's not how solids work, dude. That's not how solids work. We need to make it thicker so that it fits with everything else. All right. So this is the fun thing about animations, that you're always playing with destroying the laws of physics, which is awesome. Let's see. Bah, way better, way better. I mean, it's still choppy. It's choppy. It's a little bit choppy, but as I said before, better. Now, for example, the armor plate here has like these lines over here, which are like will disappear, but don't disappear immediately. So let's make another one here. And do. Yeah, that's nice actually. It's not even so bad. Another one that's tripping me is these couple of lines here. You know, the ones I pointed right here. They're having the same issue with width. Like it's very thin here. Here's kind of like thick, and here it's in the middle. So I feel like this one needs to be adapted a little bit. So let's grab this guy, bring it a little bit higher, make it longer and higher. And again, not perfect. Honestly, I feel like if it was a professional studio, they'd be like, that's choppy. But you know what? I am not a professional studio. I'm a guy. I'm a human being. What are people saying? Let's see. Like Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss. Kind of, but this is the thing. Like I'm not what's the name of the Vivsi? Yeah, I'm not Vivsi, so I don't know how they're gonna connect 100% yet. I'm sure that it's gonna have a good payoff, but she knows that. I don't know that. So far, when I see both shows, I go like, yeah, they occur in the same world, but I still don't see why they're both necessary to each other. I think we'll see that. Also, I haven't seen like the last 4 episodes anyway, so maybe I'm a bit behind on Hell of a Boss, so I should watch them. I've been losing some weight. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Yo, what's up, Devil Wears Socks or Baphomet? Well, I'm here. I'm back. I'm drawing a little bit more. I'm not gonna be able to draw as often as I did before I came to this place. But I'm telling you guys that very soon, and by soon I mean August, I'm gonna be able to get back on the horse and stream and animate all the time as I used to before. How was your hiatus? Would you have another one? I would have another hiatus, but not the one I had. Mm, this hiatus was not a planned one. It wasn't a good one. I kind of sacrificed a few things that I shouldn't have. Uh, no, I wouldn't have one like this one. I would have one though, like vacation, yeah. But this hiatus was not the right one to have. Not the right moment, not the right way. So Drew says, I have a plan on connecting literally everything original that I make, as well as any collabs with other people, if they're okay with it, in a massive interconnected multiverse. That's nice. Yeah. Multiverses are fun. And what I'm doing is not even a multiverse. It's one timeline. It's not even. It's so connected. It's crazy how connected everything is, and not at the same time. But essentially, once I'm done with both projects, you could read it all as if it was one thing. Especially, except you have to like maybe grab a couple's like things from the future and place them in the middle of the past. Especially, I mean, in flashbacks mostly, not actually uh, wibbly wobbly timey thingies. But yeah, that's the idea. That it's all one bigger plot, but they both have their own plots. But in the end, there's one big plot that can be solved by both together. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm glad to have you back as well. I miss you, dude. So did I. I've missed you all, guys. All of you guys. But as I said before, this hiatus I just had was kind of an accidental one. So I gotta be careful with accidental hiatuses. Hiatuses? Is that the plural for hiatus? I'm gonna look it up on Google really quick. Plural of hiatus. Hiatuses. Yeah, I said it. I said it right. I'm a smart guy. See, I'm a smart guy. I know how to talk. Sometimes. Uy, por Dios, ¿qué está pasando? All right, let's keep going. Now, the thing I have to animate right now is the sword, and it's pretty hard to animate sword swinging. I did it the other day. Let me see if I can find it. Let me open After Effects really quick while I talk. When you swing a sword, there's a lot of perspective going on. You know what I mean? Like 3D space and stuff like that. And it's kind of hard to keep it consistent. And then there's the problem with well, the problem is I'm not going to talk about a new one. The problem is the angle usually of the sword. If you mess up the angle of the sword, it just looks like you're holding a spaghetti that's flopping in the air. And I might have that issue right now, but I'm going to show you the other scene that I did with sword swinging. Also Freya, obviously, she's the one carrying swords all the time. I think it's right here. There you go. That's a sword swing that I worked on. So let's see. That would be scene 33 or 32. 32. Okay. Let's see how it looks on After Effects. It might be a bit laggy because of the software, but yeah, it's not perfect, but I kind of was able to make the sword point in the right direction. But you can see that here it's like facing the ground, right? And by the end, it's facing the sky. Like she's just like lifting it up, like she's making a point, talking. And the problem were the middle ones. So even here, I'm not fully convinced that that's the right angle, and I don't think I was able to capture it. But it took me a long while to make it even passable at high speeds, because that's the other thing. It's moving so fast that maybe people won't notice as much. But even that took me a while. And you can see that by the end, of course, the sword goes tiny. Like the tip of it is in the sky, so it's really far away from the camera in this situation. So that's something that now I know. Swinging swords is pretty hard. I'm not even finished. Look, the wrist is not even connecting fully. I gotta connect them later. But I thought that I had like the big part done, so I was like, yeah, let's move on to the next one. What was the next one? The next one would be her swinging the sword down. But then I went really lazy. I was like, yeah, let's just go like, flap. Like that's how strong. I went with motion blurs. I like motion blurs. They really make life so much easier and also funner because like if you watch this looks cartoony. It's funny. And then we got Zara freaking out because she's being like kind of threatened by Freya's stern conversational skills. And now we're in the scene that we're right now in, which is, as I said before, Freya is going from Zara to Samhain. She's directing her attention to the big pumpkin, and the pumpkin is flinching. Which is cute. Really cute to see Samhain flinch like that. For a tiny little girl. I mean, Freya's not tiny. She's like 6'1", right? But she's tiny to Samhain. He's like 9 feet. What else? I don't want to insert any of my work into your work in any crazy way that would mess with your story lore. At least discussing it first. But mind if I have some of your characters? Yeah, cameos are fine, but like the Cartoon Network kind of way. Like it's more like a reference than really connecting the lores. Because honestly, yeah, that's the thing when you work with other people, is that each one has their own vision for their own universe. So, I mean, I'm okay with cameos, but of course, I'm not gonna change anything of my universe because of it, honestly. But the cameos are fine. You own a source, so if you want, I can film some reference videos for you. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I mean, I've been playing a little bit with a Blender for those things, but Blender is kind of like the problem with Blender is that you gotta also know how to use Blender a lot. So I don't know how to use Blender a lot. But remember, the last thing I was doing before I came to this state was playing a lot with Blender, especially for backgrounds. Actually, you know what? Like, look at this background. This background is literally Blender. This is Blender. This is how I'm using the software, so I can get the right perspective for the characters. So, for example, Zara's height, they just grabbed like a line and drew it at 5'6", which is Zara's height. And I have another one at 9 feet for Samhain, and I have one at well, for Freya, I just placed the bench, and I was like, I'm just gonna draw Freya on the bench, and I have the the sketch fab free horse, which I might have even to like include in the credits. I'm gonna go like credits. The horse reference or placeholder was by this guy, and give him credit. But the horse I'm gonna draw on top of that though. Like this is just the placeholder. Uh, and I think I said on Twitter, but as a joke, I'm just gonna keep the horse as a generic placeholder forever. It'd be really funny and surreal. It wouldn't fit with the rest of the series, but I think it's funny to have just like a white clay horse there at all times. Okay, so as I said before, the difficult part was gonna be the sword. So I think that pretty much this is the angle that I have to go with. Pretty sure of that. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Also, I'm gonna add a little bit of blur to it. I'm gonna add a lot of speed to the motion. That's gonna make it look more passable. But as I said before, swinging swords is pretty hard to animate if you want to make it realistic. Lucky for me, I'm not being realistic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said that my goal is to achieve the kind of like art style in Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's like the ultimate goal, but I am so far away from that that I'm not gonna exert myself today. Like I'm so far from achieving that. It's crazy how far away I am. So I'm going a little bit more like a hybrid between that and Invader Zim. And I don't think Invader Zim really ever cared about perspectives much. I mean, they do them, but they don't mind breaking geometry and anatomy every once in a while. In fact, I think that they mostly do that more than anything. Like Dib has had like different head shapes for every episode, for every scene, probably even. And that's what makes this show so charming. Actually, it's not like a bad thing. It's an art thing. In my case, it's definitely because I'm not good enough. But there's many reasons to do many things, my friends. Let's see. How am I going to bring the arm here? Damn, dude, perspective. I don't like perspective. It's so hard. Now that doesn't make any sense. That's a terrible arm. Let's see. What are people saying? How long have you been on the internet? The Legend of Calavera is such a good show. How long have I been on the internet? So that's a weird question. I feel like I don't know what was like the first day when I became an actual internet user. Mm, because I used the internet for a while before becoming an internet user. I gotta think about that. I'm gonna write an essay on when I became a user. Okay, so it's so hard. So I feel like the hand is okay. The problem is the arm. You think guys maybe the arm is like in bent position. Like for example, at first she's pointing her sword at Freya, and then she's pointing the sword at Samhain. Maybe to bring the sword, she's doing a little bit of this. You know what I mean? Because if you do that in real life, it's kind of no. Actually, you know what? I think I'm doing it with my real arm right now. I'm doing the motion to see like what it would be like. Also, the sword is heavy, so I think that would have some influence. Hmm. 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 Am I going to bend the arm then? Bend the elbow? I feel like I am going to, but I feel like it's not the way it should go. But right now, because of this position of the hand and the shoulder, I don't think I'll be able to draw something else. So let's go with that. See, this is how people do things professionally. They find out what they're not good enough to do, and then they compromise. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, even that doesn't work. Even that doesn't work. Maybe I should just like stop animating for a while, go to like art school and learn this stuff before I decide to embark on a year-long project maybe. That's another good idea. Maybe I jump the shark by being like I'm going to make my own pilot. No, dude, like do you even know how to draw anatomy, bro? And the answer is kind of. Kind of. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And as I said before, because of the speed of the motion, I feel like people are not gonna notice as much. I can always add even more blur. So essentially, I can cheat my way out of lack of knowledge, which is something I've been doing my whole life. I feel like everybody does that, right? Don't we all just not know stuff? Like, who knows things? Who's born knowing things? That's actually knowing stuff is stranger than not knowing things. See, that looks fine. I'm looking at that. It looks fine. Especially, you know what? Like, she's so small in the screen anyway. I'm gonna like actually render it. Let's see. She's so small compared to Samhain. Like, people would probably be focusing more on the pumpkin guy. She's more like in the mid ground, the background. So maybe I can get away with it. Render. When you render, you know how the speed looks. Also, like, it's animated on twos. I could always go to ones. If you go to ones, it's even snappier. So let's see. Yeah. So it looks kind of slow for how not fluid it is. So let's go on once. Let's do that again. And I think that I can add a couple more frames and a little bit more blur, and it's gonna look a little bit hectic. I'd say it's not gonna look like fluid, but I don't want fluid. Maybe. See, maybe some overshoot could help. So maybe for the last one, I go like she comes here, and then the sword is so heavy that it's gonna push her more here, and then go back to the original place. That's a good idea. What are people saying in the chat? Putting it on a shirt, it's not a bad thing. It's an RT thing. What's an RT thing? They do a lot of fisheye lenses for various camera angles. They do. I meant to say, when did you start the Uranium Core? The Uranium Core began while I was drawing Boneface and Pumpkinhead. I was making the comic book, and somewhere in the middle, I thought I want something that's more than Boneface and Pumpkinhead. I want something that it's like on top of it, like a higher. If you have a hierarchy, which I have here, for example, it'd be like the Uranium Core has, and then you list the thing that the Uranium Core has, and I would be the Uranium Core, and it would have Boneface and Pumpkinhead. It would have the clown, the Stab Me Gently. It could have, you know, like Invader Zim animations, because I make a lot of those. So of course, like you can have the guy who makes Boneface and Pumpkinhead also animates Invader Zim stuff. It would have to be like a big idea, like a big node. Let's call it. And that was, I think, 2 years ago. I mean, I can really confirm really quickly. Let me go to my channel and look at the birth date. It literally has one, like right here. You go to the channel, you go to the About site, and it says join March 23rd, 2021. So that was literally more than 2 years ago. But I think the moment I created the Uranium Core, it was like, I didn't even use it. I created the channel and I was like, yeah, it's gonna be there if I ever start making like bigger projects, which eventually I did when I started animating. But yeah, 2 years, and I think that the moment I got really active was in the summer of that year when I animated some Scott Pilgrim and some Invader Zim. Because like if you go to the channel right here, you can see it. You can see that 1 year ago is when I started posting stuff, and I remember it was like okay, it says 1 year because it hasn't been 2 years yet. I feel like if you round it up properly, it would say 2 years because it was in maybe June, maybe July. I remember being July the 4th, somewhere around the time I posted these two guys. The first ones, these two ones, the one that were doing well on Instagram, and I said, if they do well on Instagram, they might do well on YouTube. And yeah, it did. The when you guy. Animating this was pretty much the best tutorial I had in animation because I didn't know how to animate, but I really understood Invader Zim. Like I really understood like the main poses. When I watch the show, I always go like, "Oh, it's so funny how his eye is gonna explode in this like shot." And I thought like I'm just gonna draw the main poses, and I'm just gonna like make in betweens between those poses, and that's gonna be funny enough, right? And then I noticed when I was doing that, I was like, "Oh, holy f! Isn't that exactly what animation is? Just keep posing and filling in the in betweens." And surprisingly enough, that's exactly what animation was, and that's how I understood. And I was like, let's start making stuff, dude. Like, it's not even that crazy. It's just a lot of work, honestly, but there's not so much knowledge behind it. And here we are animating a pilot of essentially the same idea, just key pose, and in betweens. But the difference now is that I in between the in betweens. That's more work, but it's not more knowledge. It's just common sense when you really think about it. Most people don't think about animation though. So let's start doing this in between. As I said before, I'm going somewhere between snappy and fluid, so I need at least two more frames for Freya. These ones are going to be easier because the animation is pretty much already done. Which, by the way, I need to ask you guys, which of you has Toon Boom, either demo version or what do you call it? A lower level version. Mm, because I'm gonna start actually like using money to hire people to do stuff, and I wouldn't mind a couple of in betweeners. Uh, I'm gonna be paying like actual money because now I'm gonna start having actual money right after I'm done with my debt. And I could save money for a house, but honestly, I don't want a house. Why would I want a house? I want to make animation. So I'm gonna be looking for people to just own the software. I don't even need people that know how to animate. I just need people with the software. That's it. If you have the software, I'm gonna ask you for help and I'm gonna pay you for it. Not a lot, but enough. Like I don't know. I mean, then I was thinking if I make more money, I'm gonna actually hire people that are more skilled than I am. But that's very long term. I'm not there yet. What happened to this finger? What did I do to it, dude? Oh, like this. Okay, way better. So I just need people with Toon Boom to help me with colors, to help me with in-betweens. Then I can teach you how to work with special effects if I need help with that. Because sometimes the special effects is both like the knowledge and then a little bit of, what do you call it? Like setting a path. That's what I call it, setting a path. For example, Zara's magic, that's pretty much electrical based. There's like the note tree that are already made for the special effects, for the glowing effects, for the lightning created from the actual beam. But then somebody has to make the beam, so that's also kind of tiring, honestly. So maybe I'm gonna have to need help. I'm gonna need help with that as well. And as I said before, I feel like even later after August, that's gonna be probably September, October. Like the last push to get this thing finished. I'm gonna need help because I think that by August I'm gonna have the whole thing like prepared to just throw manpower at it. Should we call it manpower still? Like I feel like we do, but we could call it like a people power. Although it sounds, it doesn't have the same punch. But whatever, people power. You know what I mean? Woman, man power, they power, whatever power. I just need people. People with the software. And yeah, because in betweening is kind of relatively easy, honestly. I feel like in betweening for somebody else might be like the best animation tutorial anyone could ever have. Unless it's really complicated. Some motions, I guess, are complicated too in between. But for the most part, in betweening doesn't require knowledge. It requires patience and a good set of headphones to listen to music while you do it. In my case, instead of music, I like talking. It helps me a lot to not focus, but like make it feel like time is worth or valuable. Because in betweening can take hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. It's tedious, honestly. Very tedious. What are people saying in the chat? Let's see. That animation was iconic. You're talking about Zim, and yes, it was. It was iconic. Legendary. You're getting more popular because I remember Ed. That on TikTok, someone posted your girl dancing video without crediting. Yeah, Mr. Skin is right. When somebody posts your artwork without crediting you, you know that you're doing something right because people are willing to steal your content. It kind of bothers you, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, that's a good sign usually. Yeah, they did that with both the girl dancing and with also the the Dr. Livesey meme a lot. But Dr. Livesey, to be fair, it's not because of me, it's because of the meme itself. People like that Russian doctor. They don't like me as much, they like the Russian doctor. But I did make that animation, the Joker walking with the other Batman rogues. Hmm. Still a good sign though. Let's see, let's grab this guy, delete it, bring it over here. And let's keep reading. So we have here the dubbing team from Russia. Actually, this ironically, I was talking about Russia just a second ago because of Dr. Livesey, but they are also from Russia. The translation may not be completely correct. Our nickname reads like voice acting, a mixture of languages. Greetings for me and my team. We're really looking forward for the release. Yeah, they have dubbed a couple of my videos already. And they're gonna be dubbing this one. I told them that they should wait before dubbing it because I can give them the actual file with no voices, so they can get the full soundtrack, the full sound effects, and everything. So remember, before you dub my animation, you're gonna need an actual dubbing file, or like file with no voice acting. It's gonna be better than just covering on top of that. I ran because now there's no time. I definitely watch the stress recording. It's curious to find background you're doing the blender. They still understand the background of the character. Amazing, basic work. It is painstaking. It's also a lot of fun. Yeah. Also, like I should contact people to dub it in Spanish as well. I would love to see it in Spanish. The problem with dubbing this show is that I thought about it in such a language way that the dubbing is always going to be awkward because there's always going to be a character that speaks a language. So just in Spanish, which is like the second most popular like language in the world, probably, or second or third, it's gonna have the issue that Calavera speaks Spanish, right? So it's gonna be like he's just saying the same word, or why are people acting like they don't understand him or whatever? It's gonna be weird. I didn't think of that. I should have thought of it. And whatever, doesn't matter. Like, what do shows do when a character speaks Spanish when everybody else speaking English, and then they dub it, right? Do they just give him an accent? That makes no sense. Yeah, but whatever. That's their problem to figure out if they ever dub it in Spanish. I'm gonna look for the people to dub. Or should I make the actual Spanish dub myself? I feel like I speak Spanish. I can like find my own actors. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. Yeah, that's gonna be better. That way I make sure things make sense. I'm not just gonna outsource it. I'm gonna find Spanish voice actors and make the dub myself. And what else? Then if it's French or Italian, I'm okay with whatever they do, because I'm not so good at French or Italian anyway. Hmm. Oh, I could give like Calavera a Castilian accent, I guess. Could have him say something in English. See, that would be confusing. That would be confusing. But yeah, that could work. I'm gonna find a solution to the whole like language thing when I do it in Spanish. You can do what they do in Adventure Time. Princess Bubblegum speaks German in some lines. That's true. But when they dubbed it in German, they made her speak Turkish, for example. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I could have him speak Italian. No, but the problem is then you have the Medici. The Medici speaks Italian as well, so that can't go. Whatever I come up with, I think will work. There's gonna be a solution for it, regardless. No problem. But I'm such a language nerd that the fact that he speaks Spanish, the Medici speak Italian, is kind of a part of the lore. Like, there's an explanation why they have the same roots in their languages, even though some of them are human and some of them are not even human at all. And that was kind of important, but that's only going to work in English for now. For now, I'm going to find a solution. Let's see. Also been learning a little bit of Danish for Freya, but just a little bit. Like I'm not gonna focus so much on the Danish aspect of everything, but I want to throw a couple of Easter eggs here and there for my Scandinavian brothers and sisters. Let's see. There's not gonna be much German though because there's not many imps in Research Unit of Horrors, but there's imps in Boneface and Pumpkinhead, so I'm reserving German for them. They gotta wait for me though. What other languages am I gonna have? French. There are going to be a lot of French because of Religion Empire. They're essentially French-speaking people. What else? Italian. I already mentioned that. What other language am I missing? A couple more. I still don't know which language I'm gonna make Zara's tribe speak. Like they gotta speak something that's Eastern. I was thinking of something like Assyrian or Syrian itself. It's gotta be something from the Caucasus region probably. But I still haven't decided for one language in particular. Because the problem is that I don't speak any of those languages. That's always going to be the issue. She's not going to speak it usually or regularly, but I do want to make hints that the language of her people are from the East and not from the West. So that's going to be hard. Gonna have to learn another like alphabet and everything. Let's see, imps. They're in Buffy the Pumpkinhead. Yep. Yeah, the imps in Buffy the Pumpkinhead are like the military for Hades, essentially. That's totally inspired by Hercules, by the way. Imps working with Hades is very Hercules inspired. I mean the Disney version, of course, not the Greek version. And they have essentially like their origins in like Germanic culture and folklore. So I'm using a lot of German for their names, for their locations, and for they won't speak German straight up, but it's kind of understood that they would when they're alone. You know what I mean? Like when you watch a movie and everybody's like Russian and they're talking in English with a Russian accent, and you go like, oh, "Why are they doing that?" Well, it's the same thing here. Like they would speak German if there were no cameras in front of them. That's what I wanted to infer with the imps. And the same thing with every culture, every group of people, or every group of monsters. They essentially, you know, that they would be speaking their own language if it were for the cameras or the main characters interacting with them. Uh, that's why I'm saying that when I dub stuff, it's gonna be hard because language is kind of like a big part of everything, always. It gives hints, it gives you clues. Also, I don't know. It makes the world feel a bit more real when you know that they have like actual differences in their day to day lives, rather than when they interact with each other. There's also like parallels with the real world that are fun. Not 100%, never. I try to avoid the one to one comparison. I think one to one comparisons are boring and take away the purpose of creating a fantasy world. It's still a fantasy world. There is no Germany, there is no Spain, there is no Italy. So one to one comparisons are what I'm avoiding. What else is going on? Definitely looking forward to the Spanish dub. I hope it's good. Same. I'm taking up Spanish for my college courses. It'll be cool to watch and see how much you can learn and understand. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. Also, you know, like there's a lot of Spanish speaking people in the world, bro. Like it's a lot. So let's never forget about them. They also want to enjoy cartoons. The Spanish people love cartoons as well. Probably a lot. I always thought of imps as mischievous little gremlins or something more lived in. Yeah, they kind of are. That's pretty much what they are. And in fact, in this universe, that's the function that imps have, is that there are a lot and they're very destructive. So essentially, if you ever gave them permission to like go after something, they'd be happy to do it, and it could be very, very beneficial in a very like a strategic way. Like they're a good weapon, even though they don't really care about the purposes of whoever uses them. They are useful, and I don't know. The fun thing that I have the thing I do that's fun with imps here is that they have classes. It's not like it's just one species. Period. There's like one species, and there's classes. There's the big ones, robust. The smaller ones that are very sneaky, very fast. There's flying ones, and there's more strategic or more thoughtful ones. Um, I think the imps in this universe are pretty cool. But I think that about many things in this universe. My favorite one being the cucurbites. Cucurbites are the most fun. If anyone was exactly the same or even more similar, would we kind of feel a cult of something? Yeah. No. They're exactly. That's a good thing about making a race is making everybody different anyway. Like they belong to a culture or whatever, but they're individual people and or creatures, and there's a lot of variety even within the tribe. But there's not gonna be many imps here, I think. maybe you can add a little bit more imps to Research Unit of Horrors. The problem is that they're so important in Boneface and Pumpkinhead that I don't want to reveal everything about them here. That's always the issue. Yep, yep, yep. So yeah, I've been in betweening for maybe more than an hour, right? No, an hour. I've been in betweening for an hour. This is what I meant before. Like, in betweening is a big task, bro. That's why when you go to like animation studios, you see like 8 people in a row just in betweening for like 8 hours a day, and there's not enough time. There's so much to do. Like my animation is so limited, and I still have to spend so much time that when you think about like Legend of Korra, have you ever seen that show? Dude, season one had crazy animation, so you gotta imagine how many people they had sitting there doing in betweens for days and days and days, and maybe after days, 8 people can only get like like 2 minutes of animation done. Uh, Meanwhile, my animation is very non. It doesn't require a lot of motion, and gives me an idea of what it's like to work at a studio. Also, I don't have like an animation director telling me, yeah, that's okay, but we can improve it. If I had that, it would take even longer because maybe he'd be like, okay, this line is a little bit too rect and this one's a little bit too like a curve. So the one in the middle should be kind of like a hybrid. Do that again or fix those keyframes. And nobody's doing that. So essentially, my first try is like the try. It's like the versions going to the final product. That makes things faster, also makes them cheaper. They look cheaper. But it's the internet. This is only going to be posted on YouTube and Newgrounds, so I think that those are the people that are going to be more forgiving of a line not being perfect, especially people on Newgrounds. People on Newgrounds are kind of weird because they're kind of very critical, but also kind of very accepting. I really don't know what their standards are for judging stuff, but I know that they're different than the ones from an animation studio. Like probably like the opposite, like measuring wand, I would say. So I wanna impress my Newgrounds friends. What are people saying? Culture, not cult. Oh yeah, I feel like a cult or culture. Exactly, culture versus cult. That's way better. It's one of my favorite things about making new species, like my lusters, making their world and developing their culture has been some of the most fun I've had making characters. Yeah, 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 yeah. Definitely, creating cultures is so much fun. It's a lot of fun. It's the best thing. Like I don't know, architecture, clothing, religion, language is my favorite part. I've already mentioned that a couple times. I don't know. It's like really exciting to make those things. It also makes it easier when you're gonna write a new character. You go like, okay, what culture is this character from? And you got like you start quicker, and then you give them like a job or a purpose, and then it kind of comes to life itself. I've always said it when I wrote Boneface and Pumpkinhead. My point was to make like to make it suitable for a tabletop RPG game. If it feels like you could like really play like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, then I feel like you're doing good fantasy, essentially. Even though that's not the purpose, I feel like if you aim at that, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yep, here. The armor thingy. No. There you go. And then the fist is going to be hard. I think I'm just gonna copy this one and change it a little bit. Hard lines. I like hard lines. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Dun, dun, dun. By the way, I just watched like yesterday, I think it was the Zuriel or whatever it's pronounced, dude. The new episode of Monkey Wrench. It was nice. I like better the first one, but the fact that the second one was animated by just one guy is pretty remarkable. Also, he's been using some of the tools that I used in Toon Boom, so I think that's fascinating to watch like a final product with stuff that I've been doing as well. being like, oh yeah, it can be used for a final product in a very, very, very positive way. And that guy's just so talented, bro. Kind of jealous of his skills. I've always been. But he's been animating for way longer than I have, so of course he's gonna be way faster than I am. He's crazy fast. That's the thing. He is good. Many people are good, but he's insanely fast at like animating by himself. I want to be that fast. It's taking me months to make like an episode that's way shorter. Why can't I be faster? I want to be the fastest ever. These lines are so hard. No, I messed it up. Let's go do it again. There you go. Finished? Yeah. Kind of connected the line. Oh, yeah. The idea is that it's right between the red and the green line. It's not. It's kind of like facing more of the green one. But again, it's pretty. It's a pretty fast motion, so it's gonna be fine. Hopefully, let's see. Yeah, it's. I don't think anybody's gonna be like, wait a second. Watching the episode, they're gonna stop exactly on frame number 13, and they're gonna like zoom in, and then go back one frame and frame after. I mean, if they do, they will notice that, but I hope they won't. Okay, let's read what people are saying in the chat. Even with computer assistance, it takes forever. Animation, it does. Let me drink a little bit of my Monster energy drink. Sorry. Then suddenly I have an entire planet full of people to write for. Yeah, that's what I meant exactly. Once you create the culture, you have people that you can just like write immediately for. At least those that interact with the main characters, like the queen and her court and guards and the villagers. Yeah, it's crazy how in fantasy, if you start from like the world, then the characters are easy to write because usually people want to write characters, so they go straight for that. And the problem is that they end up writing pretty much characters that could exist here today with us in this kind of world. And that's okay, but when you first do that and you write a character that could exist in like 2023 or 2024, whatever, in like America or whatever, and then you just put them in a fantasy setting, it creates a thing that I don't like. That's like oh my gosh, people in the middle of like a Middle Earth, and you go like that doesn't fit. That makes no sense. And as you said before, if you create the planet first, you create the lore, you create the monarchy, the system, then you create characters that fit in there perfectly. And it seems obvious, even, I would say. So, creating countries, creating cultures, creating the world first, I think it helps a lot. I think. I might be wrong. Let's see what people say. Sorry. Newgrounds seems kind of like a mixed bag, but that's the thing about Newgrounds. It is a mixed bag. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on there as well. A lot of talent, but a lot of crazy stuff. World building is so much fun. I wrote an entire history for my multiverse and how it all started and how it got to modern day. See, that's kind of stuff for fun. You first do that, and then when you write a character, you write the character going through those changes. And that's always going to work, I think. It's infallible. Okay, we just had one more body frame to go, so let's finish it. Let's see. I think my pace today hasn't been particularly slow, honestly. I'm not bolting fast or anything, but compared to other days, I've been quite productive during this stream, I think. Let's see. But I'm not as fast as I used to be before, dude. There were days that I would like do so much. I miss those days when I went to sleep feeling like I've done so much. Now, I haven't had one of those in like months. Also, I haven't colored anything. Oh, I colored one shot though. There's one shot that I did color. But it was because it was basically just an eye motion. Here. It's got even the smoky ice and everything. I really like the smoky ice in my characters. But other than that scene in particular, I haven't colored anything in months, dude. Like, there's so much I've made. Oh, I colored this one. It's true. Like, that one. When was that? That was a month ago. Jesus Christ, a month ago. Dude, in 1 month, I should have been able to at least make like 12 more scenes. I haven't done 12 scenes. So much time wasted. Whatever. There's no point in dwelling in the past, right? There's just a future and the present. And donuts. I like Krispy Kreme a lot. I wish I had Krispy Kreme right now, right here. Hmm. Is that a good one? No, that's a terrible line because it should come all the way up here. That means the shoulder pad is probably a little bit too thick. Can I make it thinner? Yep, I can. I can just gotta grab this guy and put it here. That works. Okay. Dun 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 bum bum. Krispy Kreme. Everybody loves Krispy Kreme, right? They should be popular. Also, what other thing am I thinking of? I gotta work on the audio of the episode as well a little bit more because I've been listening to it a little bit, and as I said before, with the distance or with space, I've noticed that it sounds a little bit it's missing something in the audio department. Like it needs more like cartoony noises, maybe. Maybe I'm going the has been hotel route and adding like 5 sound effects per second. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I want donuts as well. Don't we all want donuts? I think. But it's true that it doesn't have to be as wacky with the sound effects as Johnny Test, but it does need some more sound effects. I've noticed. It sounds a little bit empty, empty spaced. It's kind of weird. Damn, I really want donuts as well. I don't have anything even remotely similar to donuts right here right now. Um, I ate all my Pop Tarts, so that's not a thing anymore that I have. What else do I have? I have toaster strudels. I guess they're kind of similar to donuts, especially because of the sugar thingy. What do you call it? The icing on top of it. Hmm. I might have a toaster strudel later then, or I just might go out get some Krispy Kreme. Yeah, whip crack, whip crack, whip crack. Exactly. Johnny Test doesn't only have a lot of sound effects; it has a lot of whip crack sound effects specifically, which is the most bizarre thing ever. I think there's a couple videos that they make like they count how many whip crack sound effects there are in like one episode. And I wouldn't be able to give you like a number right now, but I'm pretty sure it's like over 100 whip crack sound effects for per episode or something like that. It was bizarrely, it was too many, and they did it for everything. It was like somebody points at your face, and just the motion of moving the hand from their shoulder to your face had a whip crack sound effect. Or damn, I love Johnny Test, dude. That show was funny. I remember season one, I liked it, and then I watched season two. The animation was all whack, and I didn't like it. I think that ever since I was like a child, I've always had this like unnatural aversion for Flash animation. And Johnny Test was the biggest form of proof for that. Johnny Test, I remember I was like, nope, I'm not gonna watch the Flash version of Johnny Test, and I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know why I didn't like the animation. Then when I grew up, I was like, oh, it's because they're using this software specifically. And I think ever since, I don't like it. I don't like Flash. Hmm. Now it's called Adobe Animate. I've only used it. I've never used it for a project. I have preferred to use software that wasn't for animation than Adobe Animate. That's how much I don't like the final product with that software. It's pretty crazy. I know it's irrational, probably even, but yeah, because my animation is technically choppier. Like if you look at my first animation, I did them in Sketchbook Pro, dude. That's not even animation software. And of course, it looks choppy because I'm not even using animation tools. And I still prefer that. I think it looks better. That's how irrational I am. I prefer a really bad, like, drawing that barely moves rather than an actual animation software just because it looks like a robot did it. I don't like robots making animations, especially AI. Ooh, you know what? I would totally hate AI making Flash animation. They could totally do that, like make an algorithm so that the animation specifically looks like Adobe Flash. And I'm gonna hate it so much when somebody does that. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait. Why did they think that was a good idea? The whip cracks. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who came up with those whip cracks because they're not an accident. That's the thing. Like I feel like maybe if you used like 6 whip cracks for an episode, you'd be like, yeah, that's too many whip cracks. Let's go back. Maybe it was a mistake. But when you have over 80 per episode, like that's not a mistake anymore. Like they know what they're doing. They're totally like deciding to use whip cracks for everything. So that's a good question. Like who was the guy? Who was the genius that was like, we need 80 whip cracks per episode, otherwise the show will be canceled. Um, I don't know. But then when people talk about Has Been Hotel, I feel like that's the biggest and most legit criticism of that pilot that I've heard is the insane amount of sound effects that it has. Like I think that they make a lot more sense than the Johnny Test whip cracks, honestly. But it's true that when you start noticing the sound effects in Has Been Hotel, it starts to get jarring. You go like, "Oh wow, it is a little too much." And in that case, it is kind of like an overdoing something that is good. They, I think that their design for sound effects is good, but they overdid how good they are. So it does end up being overwhelming. So that's an understandable mistake. Johnny Test, I don't know what was going on there, dude. Like this madness. It was almost like they were trying to break a record or something. How many whip cracks can you have per episode? And they broke it. They tore down the record by far. We used to have Krispy Kreme here in Minnesota, but I don't know if it was just one building that closed or if we don't have any at all. I think we have here a couple of Krispy Kremes, but honestly, I haven't. I don't ever see Krispy Kreme just like hanging around, like Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts is everywhere. No, it's not just you. My friend Red Balance also just uses her drawing program and like an editing software to animate her pilot as well, and the animation is gorgeous. I've also dabbled in it myself. Uh, yeah, drawing program for yeah. Actually, you know what? Your friend did what I was doing exactly. Yeah, it was the drawing program and then editing software where I would and I guess so does Red Balance. You just place one frame after the other. Like what I'm doing here, I would do it in After Effects, and I would just add one drawing, two drawings, three drawings, one after the other, and I would time stuff here, which was pretty crazy. And yeah, so some of the results were good, some of them were kind of like lacking, but I prefer that over Animate, which is so crazy. Like I never liked how Anime looked. It has like the worst of both worlds. Like it has the worst of like in betweening and the worst of vector animation. I don't know how they do it. How they make such a bad software after so many years. Meanwhile, Toon Boom is amazing. Toon Boom is the best. It does the opposite. It has the best of both worlds. The best of raster, the best of vectors, the best of in betweening, and the best of traditional. I don't know. It's just such a complete software, dude. I just love it. Why was on the underline layer? I think I may have made a mistake. No, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I thought I did something wrong. Sorry. Okay, whip crack quota. Yeah, well they probably exceeded the whip crack quota every single time. Okay, now this is gonna be the hard part. The sword. I don't know how to animate sword swings. Okay, here at least I can know that if there's a line here and it matches this line here, the in between should go like right in between those two, kind of. So I think that's gonna make my life easier. That this guy goes with this guy, therefore we have this guy, and then the edge is gonna go more to like away from the camera. And we can add a little bit of blur, like if you add blur, it's gonna be more convincing. Let's see. Tick, 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 tick. Yeah, that works. And now here we do the same thing. I'm just gonna work on the edges first, and then I'm gonna worry about everything else. Yeah. Yes, hard. Yeah. Not 100% convincing, but as I said before, speed is the name of the game. If I make this swoosh very fast, I don't need that much precision. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Let's give it a look. Eh, it felt choppy. I feel like the speed is not consistent. I'm going to render it just to make sure that it's not good enough. I think that if I remove that last in between, it's gonna be good because it's gonna be like so fast by the end of the motion that it makes it look like it's heavy at first, and then because of momentum, you can go fast. So let's try that. Yeah, that's too slow. Huh. Okay. So this is my hypothesis. So as I said before, we have pose A, pose B. We have one in between that's right in the middle of those two, and then we have the in betweens of the in betweens, right? These two ones. So the thing is that I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get to the end of it. I felt like the motion here was missing a little bit. So if I go like this, it's like going slow at first, and if I go from here directly to the last one, it's gonna be like really fast. So that might actually help the sensation that the sword is heavy. Interesting. So let's render that, and I think that's gonna be so that you know what that means. That means that I've been drawing her body for a whole frame that I'm not gonna use. That is awesome, right? It's like what was that? Like 10 minutes of my life that I just wasted, but it might be for the better. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this, and that hurts my feelings because that means that I spent, as I said before, 10 minutes drawing a frame that I'm not gonna even use at all. That sucks a little bit, but that's life, right? And now I think I'm gonna I'm gonna finish the sword here, and then I'm gonna add some overshoot. Overshoot, you remember what it was, right? Like this is the final pose, so now she's going to overdo it a little bit and just go back because of how heavy the sword is. Like you can't just stop the sword; it's gonna go a little bit longer without you, but you gotta bring it back. So that's what I'm gonna do after I finish with this drawing here, which is not over, it's not done. But it's going to be kind of easy, I think. Just add a little bit of this, the handle of the sword. Bap, 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 bap. And then the hand is going to be just like a thing. I'm not going to focus so much on the hand. Bap, 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 bap. Let's see what it looks like so far. So bap, bap, bap. It looks reasonable. Let's see. Yep, as I said before, reasonable. Not perfect, reasonable. I think sound effects are needed in some places in a show, movie, but you don't want too much or too little. Also, you have the time right. Like the movie *Malignant* has a funny sound for a serious part. Yeah, timing is honestly the most important thing about sound effects. I feel like sound effect in the wrong moment kills the vibe. It's surprising how much bad placing of sounds can really mess up your scene. Same thing goes for the voice acting. I've been given like really good voice lines, and I feel like if I move a line just like half a second later, half a second before, or leave spaces between them, it really kills the acting, dude. I noticed that when I was doing the editing for the voice actors, trying to fill in the gaps with sound effects, and I realized why it's so important to have like good audio engineers and stuff like that. The audio is so important. Right now, my audio that I have for the episode is pretty good, but it needs a little bit more of it needs a bump. Drew says, my friend Liberty Jarnik made a video where she used Windows Movie Maker and Fire Alpaca to animate lip sync frames, which, from what she told me, took the rest of her life to finish. Yeah. Damn, Windows Movie Maker. I do not miss that program. I hated it. It's another software I hate. It's not even so bad. I just have like bad memories of it. Probably because when I used it, it was when it was really primitive. It maybe got better. Maybe it got better, but what I used it like in 2006. That's probably not a good time to use it. I mean, in 2006, most stuff was bad. Even stuff that was considered good is bad by today's standards, probably. Oh no, Dragon Joe is leaving. Bye, Dragon Joe. Enjoy your European time zone. Yeah, here it's early. Over there, it's late. Let's see what's going on. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to head out because I need to finish cleaning, but totally reach out to me if you'd like to help me with in-betweening or coloring. I will. I will. As I said before, it's going to take some time, but I'm definitely going to contact you for when that day comes, which is coming soon. Soon. It's not today, but it's soon. Okay, Baphomet. See you later then. Yeah, the problem with this stream is that I'm not going to be able to do many of these still. I think that August is going to be when I start doing streams, and September is going to start needing help. No, I'm not leaving. Devil was leaving. Oh, you said bye to her. I thought you were saying bye yourself. I'm sorry. What time is it over there in Germany? Let's see. Let me look it up. Time in Germany. It's 9:52. It's late-ish. It's not completely late. Like people stay up later than that sometimes. Okay, so we have the arm. So boop 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 boop. Something looks weird about the arm though, right? Is it? Oh yeah. This one's missing lines. That's why it's looking so weird. Okay, so just add one line here and one line there. Get rid of these two extra lines. And what does it look like now? It looks like the shoulder pad is kind of growing in size. Why is it growing so much? No, it's not supposed to grow. It's supposed to stay consistent. So let's try to keep it smaller. This, and this. Boom. Okay, now what's going on? This is a good transition, but now this one's kind of too curved. Eh. Yeah, that looks fine. That's good enough. Liberty's last name is pronounced Zarnik. The C is silent. What did I say? Did I say Kasarnik? I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. Yeah, of course the C would be silent. Zarnik. Okay, Liberty Zarnik. It's a good name. Polish, right? I think. Let's see. Let's look it up. Zarnik name origin. Oh, it's Austrian? I don't know. It's Polish. I was right. Yeah. Of course it's Polish. Polish names are cool. Koliski. All right. Let's keep going, dude. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so I think the body motion is good. I said I was going to add one more frame for the overshoot right here. And then we go back to the original last frame right here. So now for the overshoot, what I'm thinking is maybe copy like 90% of it. Maybe move it a little bit more to the left. Oh, actually, yes. The good thing is that I separated the body from the hand, so that's good. Meaning that when I copy this and bring it here, it's going to be all of it except for the sword, and the sword is the one that's definitely going to overshoot. So now we bring this guy here, 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 and it's just a slight like overcorrection or overdoing it. Boop, boop. Actually, that is too slight. I think it needs to be a little bit more than that. Okay, let's do it again. Let's make it a little bit more extreme. Oh, first of all, I think I have an idea. I can just copy this guy here, and maybe pivot it from the hand or the wrist. Move it more over here, take it more over there, and get a feel of the overshoot. See, that was just a feel, and now I feel like that was too much. So let's bring it a little bit back. That way I know where to draw the sword before drawing it. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. I feel like the body also needs to twist a little bit more. So maybe twist the body a little bit more. Or grab the hand, the arm. Maybe bring it a little bit more over here. And also this guy. Pivot it a little bit more over here. And grab this guy. Right now I'm cheating, but you know what? Cheating is fine. Every once in a while, don't overdo it. See, now the hand moves over there. Now the shoulder pad should also go a little bit higher. Maybe. Pivot it a little bit more over here. Gonna get rid of these chunks. And finish connecting the lines wherever they're missing. And here would be like this. Boom. Give it another try. Boop, 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 boom. I'm just trying new things. I don't know if it's gonna work 100%. Try again. Yeah, it's not even so bad. Stop it. Okay, let's drink another sip of Monster. Sorry. Now the hand I said I still want to draw it though. Now I just know that it has to be here. But let's put it down here and give it some transparency probably. Gonna make a composite node so I can separate the line art from the overlay layer, which has the hand, and the underlay layer, which has the hand, but in the position where I want to draw it. Sorry. And now I can add some transparency so I can kind of like draw on top of it without I don't want to copy it. I just want to know where it is. Let's make it a 77 transparency, and that's good enough. Let's get rid of the onion skin, and let's start drawing the hand. Okay. I said before, I don't want it to copy it. I just want to know where it's supposed to be. Three things. Okay. Drew, you can say three things. I mean, of course you can. It's not like I have to give people permission here to say stuff. Say your things, Drew. It's all good. Can I share the other server links in your server? Of course, yeah. I mean, you're asking them if they want to join the server. That's perfectly fine. What else? My Bumblebee clips have my avatar drawn in an off-model and rendered simpy style, but I'm not trying to make it look too ugly, lol. Okay, and speaking of stop motion, I made this new stop motion character named the Wheeler. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, feel free to share all this stuff over there in the server, dude. So I'm gonna be welcome. Oh, by the way, somebody joined. Oh, Baphomet joined again, but now it's Baphomet in socks. Before she didn't have socks. Forgot to rejoin. My old account got banned. Oh, they got banned. I didn't know that. Let's keep going. Boop, 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 boop. Like this, like this, like this, and like that. Dude, drawing is hard, bro. I forgot. You know, I haven't drawn anything digitally for a month. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I think that's happened to all of us at some point, but it happened to me this month. And then when I started drawing again, I was like, you know what? It wasn't that I was drawing. It was that I was looking at my previous drawings and I was like, I can't do that. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this stuff. Because honestly, just 1 month of not drawing is so detrimental to your skills. It's crazy. I mean, I feel like it's got to have a positive. Like, there's got to be like something of now that now that I've been a part of my own art style, I'm able to like fix those things that I had. I mean, I'm not doing that, but I'm assuming some people could like take advantage of the situation and be like, now I can fix the mistakes I used to make before. In my case, I have done no effort in fixing the problems that I had in the past, but it's still crazy how how 1 month of not drawing makes you forget about like your own style, I guess. I mean, it's a lost opportunity in my case. I could have just gone back slowly and started to like refigure stuff and fix whatever issues I had in my fundamentals. But you know, I'm producing an episode, so there's no time for that. I just had to like get back on the horse and you know do what I was doing before. But it's crazy. 1 month of not drawing digitally, bruh. It's madness. Okay, so now we have our overshoot. Yeah, it's good enough. And the thing that's going to make it better is going to be the what I said before, the swooshy effect. So I'm going to grab this frame, I'm going to duplicate it, meaning that the original is still exists. Actually, it's right here. And I'm going to add swooshing or blurriness, you know? That's called cheating because it makes things look smoother than they actually are. It's tricking your eye into believing that this is like more real than it is when it isn't. The thing is that I do it a lot and it really helps, dude. Here, here, here. Hey. Oh yeah, I know why, because I'm in the underline layer for some reason. No, not the underline. The overlay layer. There you go. Broop, broop. Broop, broop, broop. And a little bit more even, I would say. The problem that you gotta make sure the swoosh kind of like fits the swing motion. Kind of hard, honestly. Again, 3D space. So now when she comes from here to here, it looks like it's so fast that it blurs, and then it goes back to normal. And actually, even this one, I'd say that I can add a little bit of a small blur because it's overshooting so fast that it still has a little bit of that blurriness. Let's see. There you go. Okay. So theoretically, it goes from here to here to here. And actually, this one should also have a blur, right? Let's see what it looks like so far. Yep. See? It's so confusing when you see that blurriness that you go like, oh, it's just speed, you know? Like, but that helps, dude. It helps a lot. See, it looks like it's an actual camera recording her, and she's so fast that you cannot see the sword motion. And the reason I'm doing that is so it looks like I did a clean job, and it's a camera that's the one missing it. Let's get some blur here going on as well. So essentially, she begins slow, and then here's where the speed starts to go up. Because when you go from here to here, I'm essentially skipping a frame. So that makes sense to be the moment where the blurry starts to go into effect. Let's render that. Let's watch it, and let's start with the face, which is, as I said before, has less movement, but it needs more attention to detail because I need her to look pretty. It's gotta be pretty during the whole thing. Oh yeah, that works. Yeah. Yeah, fat motion. You need a fat motion for your sword swing. No, I meant fast. You're right. Fast. Let's see. Love the sword design. It's cool. The sword is actually something I really want to work on one day that I have time. Like, for example, I told you already, guys, that the pilot is already, it's going to look the way it's going to look, okay? But once I'm done with the pilot, I wanted to look back to the design of the characters. And I want to work more on Freya's sword. I feel like a character that's a swords person needs the sword to have thought put into it more. Right now, it's kind of like a basic, just edgy thingy. But eventually, I want to like really give her a good design that fits her personality and her armor. But yeah, I'm gonna work on the same thing with Samhain and his weapons. Right now, he's using an axe, a battle axe. It looks pretty cool, but I need to work more on it, I think. I haven't been drawing cause of art blocks. That's what Miss That Guy is saying. But the moment I wanted to draw, I forgot how to draw. Yes, you forget how to draw, honestly, or you forget like your tricks, your tips, your shortcuts. You forget about those things. You start to gain them like quickly enough, but the first moment when you have to draw again digitally, it's kind of intimidating, dude. Yo, perfect. Yeah, I think it's pretty good, dude. Like, let me watch it one more time before I move on to the head. But I think that it looks good enough for what it is. And I think that this is the thing about character animation, honestly. Maybe each animation is not that good, but they work really well together. Like, they're very well timed. The way that she swings from here to here and Samhain kind of recoils, it's kind of like one fluid motion from the moment she's swinging, she's pointing her sword at Zara, and then she goes here, and I feel like the animation is the whole thing. It's not only her or only him, it's both. Like, right? Because her animation is like 5 frames long, really. That's not even an animation. But then when she's done, he starts, like right immediately, right? Let's see that. See, she's going here. He's still like, he hasn't even noticed that she's gonna point it at him. And once he notices that, he starts his animation, which is also like 6 frames long. Like, and that's why I feel like both animations look better because they work together. I feel like each of them are pretty lazily done, but the final product is exactly what I need. And the thing is that now this shot in particular is not that short. It's actually way longer. It has like 160 frames, but it's going to be mostly Freya talking to Samhain. So it's going to be more of a lip sync situation starting from now on. Well, as soon as I'm done with the head and the hair. So let's bring her back to reality and look how her head's still like not updating. But by the end of it, she's already like looking at him. And she looks like herself. Here, something's missing, which might be just a mouth, really. Yeah, it might be just a mouth. Okay, so let's do this. So this is keyframe A, this is keyframe B. D, D. So we really just need two in betweens. And now I remember that this one was the in between the two ones, and this one was the in between of the in between. So I'm gonna try to do something that I don't usually do, which is drawing this line over here. Have you ever seen these lines? I don't know how to use them 100%, but usually what they mean is that you go from. Oops, sorry. They tell you, for example, there's key post A and key post B, right? Or 1 and 2 would be better, more appropriate. Key post 1 and key post. So how many frames are you gonna need? Boop, 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 boop. 4. Or no, I don't know how to do it, man. This is the problem. The problem is that I don't even understand it. If I understood it, I could explain it to you. But this is what I understood. One, yeah, the easing charts exactly. And now this means that when I drew this frame over here, this was, or sorry, this one that was in between those two. So now I would have to say that this one's called, let's say, call it C, right? And now I didn't use a frame here because remember I was going to draw one here and one here. But then I decided that this one wasn't necessary and that I wanted the motion to be faster. So now I would only add a D here. You know what I mean? So these are the frames that I'm going to use. I'm not going to draw an E frame. So this is important to know that when I draw the head, I'm going to draw the in-between, the first and the last one. But then I'm going to draw the in-between between the first one and the in-between, and not the in-between and the last one. And I don't 100% understand how to use these, especially to communicate with people. But I want to learn. I want to learn how to do it. But this is the gist of it. The thing that I didn't do right is that I think that they call it like the frame where it is. So for example, right now I'm in frame 13, right? So you call this frame 13, and it's gonna go all the way to frame what is this one? 16. So I would call this one 16, and this one is the in between. So but you give it the number. Although it is exactly right in the middle, you give it the number where it's gonna be placed. So it's gonna be placed right here in 15. Okay, I'm getting it. And then you call this one 14, but you don't call this one anything. And now you can see this 13, 14, 15, 16. This is literally um, 4 frames in a row, but you have to think it as the in between of two different things like this. This is the hierarchy of how you draw them, but this is the order they go in the actual like recording. I'm not 100% sure I did it right, but I think that this is right. I feel like that's the correct way. And not sure though. Whatever. I'm gonna delete it because I know what I have to do. So what I have to do is gotta go for the skull and make an in between right here. Ooh. Actually, I'm just gonna focus on the skull and get rid of the body for now because it's gonna be confusing for a while. Gotta get rid of everything. Actually, just the skull is enough. Okay, so there you go. So now let's do in between of the skull. I don't even make the whole head as like one big entity. I just like making like the shape of the face a little bit over here, and then I start adding the eyes, the nose, the mouth. It's gonna be easier for lip syncing as well. That's the advantage of working in a software that has so many layer options, and that is exactly what Toon Boom is, and that's exactly why I love it, because of the option it gives you for layering. It's a big amount of them. I'm Hercules Mulligan. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Honestly, I never went to art school or animation school, so I wouldn't know. But I always see them when you watch people like from Disney working on stuff. You see like how they do the traditional methods, and you go like, "Whoa, that's cool, dude. I want to learn how to do that." I feel like as an animator, I would have been a complete failure if it was the 90s. I feel like the reason why I get anything done at all is because of technology. Because the way that people did things in the 90s were crazy. I don't even fully understand them yet. I just know they work, but I don't know how to make them work myself. Those people were crazy talented, crazy knowledgeable, crazy patient. I'm neither of those things. I'm neither knowledgeable nor patient. Talented, maybe. Maybe talented. Maybe just a little bit talented. Not crazy talented, but talented enough to do something. Let's see. Bam, 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 bam. This is the ear. Okay. So now we have all. Really, I only need like 4 skull drawings. That's crazy. That's so little. It's not a lot. Okay. Now the other thing that makes Freya look like Freya is the hair, the bangs that she has in front of her face. I feel like if I get those right, she's gonna look like her really quick. Let's add one here, and let's see. So the one right here is the one that is usually on her nose, right? Like the middle one. So when I do the in-between, I gotta find the in-between with this one and this one. So that would be kind of here. And then I have this one, which usually gets rid of this part of her hair, or her head, I should say. Again, it makes her look more like Freya. Now, the place where they are joining is this height and this height. So it's probably one in the middle right here. Somewhere here. Yeah. Reasonable. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. And then the third one is going to start appearing because here you can't see the third bang, but here you can see it. So maybe it's just starting to like to show up a little bit. Oops, can't cover her skull though. Maybe like that. Oops. Da-da-da. And let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks like Freya, 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 Freya. That's a total of 3 Freyas. Now we need to add the in-between of the in-between. Which, by the way, was it here or was it there? I think I made a mistake. But you know what? I don't care about mistakes, whatever. I'm just gonna power through it. Sometimes I make like a mistake and then I go like, I'm just gonna act like it didn't happen. I ignore it. And you know what? Things end up being fine. So why stress out about having made a mistake when life fixes itself? You don't have to worry about it. That's true for everything. So remember, guys, if you ever feel stressed out, just don't think about it. It will fix itself. And if it doesn't, not a big deal. Let's see what's going on. Okay. So now we should have the 4 Freyas that I need, which is this one, this one, this one. I'm going to give it a body and see if it looks usable. Oh, that was one weird. Oh, yeah, that's a weird one. See, oh shoot, what did I do here? No. So yeah, so I should have actually worried about it more because now the hair is kind of doing something really wonky here, and I don't know what's going on. Why is it doing that? Okay, what if I just change? It's like doing the opposite of what it should. That is terrible. But I feel like these two are kind of interchangeable, except they're not. They're not interchangeable at all. Okay, I'm just gonna redo this one then. Okay, let's redo this one. Oh no, not that. I meant the hair. That's terrible. What the hell happened there? See, this is what I meant. Like I knew something. I knew I was doing something wrong. I just didn't know what. Now I can see what it is. The bang. I feel like I got them mixed up at some point or something. So now I can bring this guy here. This guy here. Uh-huh. Yeah, no. Okay, guys. I made a mistake. Sometimes you do have to worry about like having made a mistake. But not usually. No, wait. This is madness, dude. Okay, see, that looks better. See, that looks better. Way more usable. Let's see what happens. Yeah, okay, now that's usable. I don't know what I did before. I don't even know why I drew one in between frame like kind of the opposite way that I should have. But it's done. Okay, now let's go for the hair. I call the hair the back part of it. So I'm gonna just like in between it really quickly. I'm not gonna even think about it that much. And then I'm gonna think about if I should add some overshoot, which might be the case, 100%. It would not be weird if I did have to add overshoot, especially for the bangs. Since the motion is so quick. Then one more in between right here. Okay. Ah, shoot. Almost got it right in one swoosh, but didn't. Oh, shoot. So hard. Eh, there you go. Got it right. This is like one of those games of operation where you gotta have like a very steady hand and wrist motion and flow. Otherwise, you will touch the organs and kill your patient. Is that what surgeons do in real life? Do they just remove like objects from people's organs? I hope it is. Okay, so let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. See, that works, but I think the overshoot is gonna help it a lot, right? So maybe add overshoot for the last one in the bangs only. I'm not gonna add overshoot for the backside of the hair. So now it comes here, and now it's gonna overdo it right here, and it's gonna go right back here. So now when you overdo it, my plan is to just like pivot from here to here. It's gonna look pretty good. And here, here. Oops. Just pivoting. And oh, I've been watching a lot of Silicon Valley lately. So when I said pivoting, I meant pivoting as in like the usual term of pivoting, but I remember when Jared started telling people that they should use the opportunity of their defeat at a conference or something to pivot their company to something else. And that's making me, I mean, I'm not laughing, but it was a funny moment from the show. Let's see what it looks like now. Ugh, that's too rigid. Maybe it's gotta like swing all the way up slowly. I feel like that was too fast for hair, probably. So let's maybe give it some more time to delay and add in betweens in the middle. Huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna redo this. I'm gonna make it swing even higher and add in betweens, and I think that's gonna be better. So it goes higher because it is a lot of force that we're using for the motion of the sword. Oops, that was not good. And we add in betweens because it's gonna be slow motion because hair is not that fast. It's not the first time I've done an overshoot of Freya's bangs, so I have some experience. I think I've done this before, and I have proof of that right here. Yeah, see? When she says enough, her hair goes all the way up. And I remember that it was like a very crazy motion, and it was surprisingly slow compared to like other solid objects. So I think that right now we're getting a little bit of the same situation. The more you draw a character, the more you know how to like redo an idea or an effect. So now I know that I do have to go crazy with her hair every single time she goes dramatic. So that's good to know. Okay, so I feel like the placing is correct. Hmm. Okay, now the in-betweens, definitely one is going to be absolutely necessary, but I feel like it's gonna be probably more than one. That pisses me off. I'm kidding. It doesn't piss me off that much. It's not gonna be a big deal. But you know, it is more work. Let's see. Would it work like this? Hmm. No, it wouldn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has to stay up there a while. Hmm. Yeah, that can work. Okay, now let's add one frame here where the hair is going up. And that's going to give it some fluidity, probably. Probably. Come on, do it right. No. Here and here. And then this one is midway here. This one is also midway here. Oh, shoot. The problem is that if I get one strand of hair a bit thicker than it should be, it's gonna look really bad. So I gotta be particularly careful to be right in between. Bum, 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 bum. Oh no. Okay, let's see if that helps. So it goes from here to here to here. Hmm. No, it's not working. Okay, maybe the same thing, but in on once. Actually, make it faster. Maybe making it faster will be better. Eh, not exactly. Not 100%. Okay, maybe make it so that it repeats the same motion here. Almost. This is the problem. When you go fast, uh, it feels underwhelming that the hair only gets here. If it's so fast, then it would go higher. That's a problem. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep going the slow route, but add another frame. I agree with Drew. Maybe just keep adding frames. And I would say that not even add one more frame, add two more frames. I would say is the right thing. So add one here and one here. Yeah, yeah. No, no. It's gonna be two in between frames, I think. It's because of the speed. It's not very fast because of how high the hair goes. If the hair went higher, it wouldn't be bad to go faster. But since it's so low, it's like, no, it's not that fast of a movement. It wouldn't look natural with that speed. That's the problem of overshooting stuff, is that you gotta match both things. Like the intensity and the speed have to go together. Otherwise, you're just throwing physics out the window, which is something I do a lot actually. But no, we gotta go slow. So dip, 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 doom. And this is stuff that I still am figuring out as I go, honestly. I feel like the last time I did one of these Freya hair overshoots, I did a good job, but I was absolutely improvising. I still don't have a formula for it. I feel like this is gonna help me gain experience with her hair. But as of right now, I am not a pro at it. Not yet. Yep, there you go. Sounds good. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Gotta get. Okay, let's give it a try now. Okay, so the way up is finished, theoretically. But this is the thing, when the hair goes up like this, I feel like it's gonna float more. So if it floats more, it will need another frame going from here to just a little bit higher, just barely. So I think I'm gonna just do it now. If I'm already gonna do it anyway, might as well just do it right now. So it's basically just like overshooting even a little bit more, but barely. Just a little bit more. That way you get the feeling of floatiness by the end of the swing. Oop, that's too much. And I'm theorizing, I don't really know. It goes from here here. So that's hopefully gonna make it feel floatier by the end of the motion. And then just drop. And the problem is that when it drops, it doesn't drop in the same direction. It drops differently. Screw physics. Why are physics real? Why don't we just live in a simulation with no physics? Whatever. That is okay. The way it goes up, it's not terrible. It can still be fixed. But now the question is, how am I going to go down? Am I just going to go the same route? That would be lazy. Let's give it a try. This guy, and this guy, this guy, this guy, and finally this guy. Hopefully it works. Okay, now it feels like it's too slow. Oh, okay, you know why? Because when it goes up, it's fighting gravity, and when it goes down, it's being helped by gravity. So maybe the way down is going to be faster. So let's remove this frame, and just add these two ones. I hope I'm right. I might be wrong. Hmm. Ah, It's not completely good. It's not terrible either. Okay. Uh, Maybe it goes up, it goes down faster, and it still bounces. Yeah, that's my last hope. Hmm. So now I'm gonna make one that looks like it's heavy and it's being elongated to the ground. And it recoils back to its original position. This one I'm not sure if it's gonna work or if it's even a good idea to even try, but we're learning here, guys. I don't know how to do this. Okay, so theoretically, not even theoretically, I didn't even theorize this, I just gave it a try. Um, Possibly this might work. So let's give it another try. Oh, it did actually. Like it does have to bounce by the end of it. Like when it falls down to this original place, the gravity kind of makes it pulls it down a little bit lower, and then finally it recoils back to the original position. Okay, now I know that that kind of works. Kind of, it's not perfect still. And there's a little bit of a couple edges I gotta get rid of here and here. Okay, and now let's render it and see if it looks better. I'm excited. It might look good. It might actually look pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna show it again. I'm gonna do it right now in the rendered version. Hmm. I'm thinking about it. I feel like the upward motion is a little bit too slow. So, Drew, unfortunately, I have to admit that you were right. It just needed one more frame, not two. Two were too many. So, now the question is which of the two should I omit? It's gonna be the hard choice. Or maybe it's the floatiness that was too much. The floatiness might have been overkill then. So let's try it without floatiness. See how it looks. Now it's too rigid without the floatiness. I need the floatiness. Okay, so floatiness not the issue. It's gotta be one of the in between. So it's either this one or this one. And it should start slower and go faster, right? So this is the one that shouldn't. This should be omitted, if anything. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the right one. I think we got it, dude. Give it a try. Come on, render. Yeah. Yeah, that works. That works. That's good. Yeah, that's fine. The problem is that when I was drawing, I didn't know which of the two in betweens needed to be drawn, and now I know it's the first one that needed to be drawn, not the second in between. Okay, right now I just learned a couple things about drawing Freya's hair. As I said before, I already did it once before here, but now I feel like I've actually cemented some of that knowledge actually. So that's always a good thing, learning something more or making it part of your arsenal, of your toolbox. Okay, now let's see. What's the next thing we have to animate? Probably the nose would be a good idea. It's gonna be easy. It's also a big, like, important part of Freya's face. The nose is kind of part of the skull in the first frame, but not in the next one. So, mhm. I think I'm just gonna kind of wing it. Like I'm just gonna improvise where the nose would go and hope for the best. For example, here, I feel like if that's the end position, it's gonna look kind of like this over here. Actually, gonna get rid of the pull string and something like this. Okay, I'm not properly in between right now. I'm just kind of feeling it. Right. So it goes from here, 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 and just get rid of these. If I don't feel like they're perfect. I can just like go back to them anyway, so it's not gonna be an issue, even if it's not good. So now the next thing I'm gonna animate is gonna be the eyes, I guess. So let's go with this eye. Where is it's right here, right? Oh, I don't have the first position eye. Okay, so because you know what happens? The right eye is here, right? But it's not going to be shown here, so that would be just a blank frame anyway. Maybe even here is going to be covered by the hair, so there's no point in drawing it. Here, I could draw it, but it's mostly covered by the hair, and the motion is really quick, so I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna make the eye appear out of nowhere here because of the speed of the motion, so screw it. Just keep it empty. Now, the eye left will be shown at first and at the end, so that one I have to like do the whole transition. So let's do that. Let's add an in-between frame here and here, obviously. And this is the one I'm gonna use as the in-between, I think. I could place one on top of the other to make sure that they're well in between. Or I could just wing it. I like winging it. So let's just like calculate approximately would look like this. Approximately like this. Oop, too big. Like this. Okay. Does that work? Bup, 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 bup. Actually, this is a thing I do a lot, which is kind of cheating. Is that whenever I make an in between for a fast motion of the head, I close the eyes. It makes it so much easier. Like because she's moving faster, she might be closing her eyes for a fast motion, right? So that makes it easier to like do the in betweens. Kind of like the easy way out, honestly. So let's see what it would look like. It would be like she's looking at Sarah, and when she's gonna go to Samhain, she closes her eyes for a second and then opens it when she looks at him. So that might work. And now same thing would happen for the eyebrows. The eyebrow right would not be seen until the end, so forget about it, but the eyebrow left will be seen. So I'm gonna need a frame here, and here, and the last one is just an angry eyebrow. So the first one should also be an angry eyebrow, but how angry exactly? Maybe just like a, and it's not even fully visible because of the bang, so doesn't matter. But it's like a good place to begin, and then just make the eyebrow a little bit more like calm here. Where's the eyebrow? Hey, I cannot see it, dude. Oh, because it's like 2 frames before. There it is. And just make it like a little bit more like this. I think when you close your eyes, you can't stress your eyebrow as much. Oop, but that's not good either. Terrible eyebrow. And maybe just keep it the same. Yeah, no, yeah, yes you can. Bum, 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 bum. So it goes for up, up, up. That works, that works, that works. So we go up, up, up. And again, since the motion is so fast, it's not gonna be even noticeable. The other eyebrow is not even visible. So I think we're good. Yep. That works for the eyes. And finally the mouth. I'm just gonna animate the placeholder. It's like Samhain, right? Hmm. Now this is the thing. Does the mouth start moving before or after the swing? Yeah, before. Yeah, it's gonna be hard then. Okay, so let's start with an angry position, as usual for Freya. She's always angry, for most of the time at least. And then we can evolve that, like that position to oh, why did I join the nose layer? To an ah sound. And I think that from the ah sound forward is gonna be really easy. There you go. So now she's angry, and now she's gonna be like, I think here's when she started with Samhain. Yep, nailed it. Right here. So now we go like, I'm gonna go the anime route with the mouth like to the side of the cheek because it's gonna be easier than drawing a hole in her face. Although a hole in her face would be way better. Now I'm gonna go anime route. It's a short, like 2 second uh utterance. I mean, work harder or work faster? That's always a question, dude. I feel like it would be better to just go faster for today. But drawing a hole in her head would not be that hard. Just don't want to do it now. Here we go. Samhain at the tongue here, and blah blah blah. There you go. So now she goes from here to here. This is a Samhain. Yep. And now in the middle of the swing, I'm pretty sure she's doing the ooh sound for when, you know? So we can go with just something simple like what? Sa when. And now here, she's still doing the what sound. Okay, now that woo probably here begins to transform into an I. Sawen. So let's go with I. There you go. Hmm. She has her teeth here and her tongue here. Mirror it to make sure it looks good. Do. So that's the N sound, right? Let's see. It's a little bit too fast, so let's give it a little bit more frames for the sound. And now the N starts and finishes quite quick. So I would add like a teethy look to the mouth. So it looks like she's already uttering the N sound. Like this. That one. So she's already finished the syllable. Yep. And that's like it for the motion of the swing sword or sword swing. And then I'm going to keep adding whatever else she says, but I'm going to do that like behind the scenes. I'm going to do that because it's going to take me hours. And it's way more boring. Like lip syncing is way more boring. Also, I need to like make sure that I listen to the sound very well. Might add a couple more in betweens here and there. So for example, for going to the to the ah, we definitely gonna need one more frame at least. Otherwise, the motion or the mouth situation is too abrupt. We don't want it to be too abrupt. So it goes here, and here, and here. I start cutting stuff. Cut. You know, it's like a progressive movement of the mouth. And now for when, I can do the same thing and go more progressively from an sound to an sound. Like this. I'm not even going to fill it up with teeth. The motion is so fast, nobody's going to notice if she's missing teeth for one frame. So let's see. Yeah, it looks a little bit better, but as I said before, it's so fast, no one is going to even notice. But, you know, just a little bit more detail helps. And now when she goes from oo to I think I can also do one more. So let's do one here. So she goes from oo to so now it's more like an That's literally how I figure out mouth shapes. I'm at home just doing like whoa with my mouth. It's pretty goofy, but I think it's giving somewhat good results. See now that feels like a yeah. This is like an this is like a ooh, and this is like a It's right in the middle. Wet, wet, wet. See, you can see the wet in motion there. And then after the wet is in. So the in is gonna mean that there's like a millisecond where she's closing her mouth. Because it's open and then it's closed. So let's do that. Right here, here, and here. And bringing the teeth together. Essentially from here to here. And from here to here. And kind of feels like she's closing her mouth. And then after the she could go with like a relaxing mouth pose, I guess, like her angry pouting face, regular angry Freya. See, that's good. That works. Let's do it like HD rendered, and I think that's gonna be the end of the stream today. I mean, it was a good stream for one after so long, but I wish I could have had something better prepared for today. But this is just what I was working on anyway. Let's check it out. Yep. Honestly, I like it a lot. I think it looks great. Well, it's gonna look better with the background as well. So let's add the background. The problem is that they're aligned, so you're not even gonna be able to see the character. So that's sad. So let's add some transparency. See if we can get a little bit of the goodness from both things. Because honestly, the backgrounds make everything look so much better. This background also needs work still. Like remember, whenever I make a 3D background, I still paint over it to make it look more cartoony. So this one looks good in the sense that everything's placed in the 3D space correctly, but it doesn't fit the style yet. But it will. But you get a really good idea of what it's gonna look like. So let's see. One more time. See? I like it so much. Yeah. I'm very happy with the results. And as I said before, what I'm doing right now is I'm making all the scenes like this right now, like I'm working the line work. That way, in the future, when I start needing help from people, I'm just gonna tell them like, you just gotta color this, bro. Like I'm gonna try to focus on the shading part of it, but I'm just gonna send you the line work, and you're just gonna spend like maybe 8 hours coloring 3 scenes in total, which is not a lot, but it's gonna be like ready. It's gonna be just prepared to put it to the oven and let it cook for a few hours. You know what I mean? Like the cake will be already prepared to be baked. That's what I'm talking about. So right now I'm on scene 35. It's really a total of 50 scenes. So this means that I'm already past halfway. I'm already like at 70%, maybe 65% of the whole thing. So that makes me feel excited. It means that I'm very close to finishing it. As I said before, finishing the preparation for the baking. The baking is also going to take a lot of time, but since I already said that I'm going to need help, it's going to be different. It's going to be like it's going to be more certain that it's going to be done. Right now it's uncertain because honestly every single scene that I work on is so hard. Like you got to think about it almost mathematically or methodically what's the order of stuff. But once everything's organized and ordered, it's going to be smoother. It's still going to take time, but we know the results are going to be good. That's what I mean. The results will be good once we reach that 100% of line work. Then it's just a matter of waiting, not a matter of stressing over technique or stressing over placement or perspective. That stuff will be already figured out. Okay, so I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to go for a walk. No, I'm not going to go for a walk. It's too hot. But I'm going to do something else. Okay, guys, so we'll be in touch through the Discord. And hopefully, I'll be able to do another one of these soon. Maybe in 2 weeks, I'll try to. And, it's going to be a tough couple months still, but it's going to be awesome after August. It's going to be really cool. Okay, guys, so just be patient. I'm going to save the file just in case. And that's everything for today. Bye, dudes.